Hi everyone, welcome to this video. My name is Jarisa. I'm a hypnotist, and today I'm here to tell you about the ways that you can build your self-esteem, especially if you're using self-hypnosis. And so there are some energetic concepts that you need to understand when developing your self-esteem. So with that being said, here are 3 things that you need to take into consideration when you are developing your self-esteem. First and foremost, you need to understand that self-esteem is built through layers. Self-esteem is the byproduct of these energetic layers that you have already built. And so when people think of self-esteem, they're going into hypnosis, they're like, I'm just going to come out and have all of this personality. And don't get me wrong, hypnosis works magic in a lot of ways, but this isn't just about the idea of self-esteem. This is about understanding the different layers that go into building your self-esteem. Because we have to understand that our self-esteem is like, think of a container with a bunch of different feelings, and all of those feelings are pointed in the same direction, which is that I like myself, I trust myself, and I see the good in what I'm doing and what I stand for. And so this is bigger than just you liking yourself. This is about understanding that there are some energetic foundations that we need to put in place to lead up to the overall concept of self-esteem. And so one of those energetic concepts that you are going to learn to take yourself into consideration. I know that you're so used to being considerate of other people, but it is time to understand that other people can take you into consideration. Your life, the universe, has the ability and wants to take you into consideration. This means that you are putting the spotlight on you being the center of attention, especially in your relationships with people that actually like you, whether that be platonic, romantic, even your family life. You are now going to associate yourself as someone who is being taken into consideration. You think about the small things with yourself, and other people also consider the small things about you. The next thing is that you are going to embody the idea of being adored. Adored in the energetic concept of like you're looking at a baby and you just love everything about them. They just make you so happy. Everything about them is just so cute and so innocent and so good. And we're going to learn to see ourselves through the lens of good in a way where everything about us just makes us smile, and there's not much wrong that we could do because we're just out here living life. We are out here just trying to figure it out like everybody else. So how you're going to do that is that you're going to start adoring those younger versions of yourself where perhaps they had a very critical parent. Perhaps they were in dynamics where they were not considered or maybe not seen. And instead, you're going to take time to look at the details of what you appreciate about that particular part of yourself, whether that be a part of you that's happening now, maybe a part of you from your childhood, from your adolescence. And so I highly recommend going through all parts of your life and learning to adore each and every part of who you have been in the past. And you're going to find that you're going to come across people who actually adore just qualities about you that you had never even considered. And so this is about you shifting the lens on how you see yourself. And then the last thing is that you're going to hold yourself in the space of respect, in a way of if something were to happen to you, in which perhaps things have in the past, you're going to hold yourself in a way of like how people do in funerals, of they're holding them in love and respect as they transition through their life, except you are holding yourself in a way of where you are helping yourself transition with compassion and love into new areas of your life. And so perhaps you have those past parts of yourself that maybe you feel embarrassed about, or maybe you don't like those experiences that really led to the low self esteem. You're going to learn to hold yourself in regards of just holding space for them, holding love for them, saying, I see you. You matter, and that you have a place here in the world, even if it is just me shining a light on it in this moment. And so, all of these 3 things of being taken into consideration, adoring yourself, and this idea of respect is really about you shining a spotlight on yourself. Because what you will find is that kids that come from a neglectful background and have low self esteem, there was no attention on them. There was no consideration in the way that they navigate the world and their expression. They were taught to hide from the world. And so, when you are developing your self esteem, what you're really doing is saying, I am worth putting attention on. I am worth shining the light on, that I have enough goodness in me to where I can impact the world around me simply because I matter and I exist. This is not the same as being arrogant about everybody put the attention on me because I feel like I'm lacking in some way. It's that it is my birthright to be focused on. It is my birthright to take care of myself and to take my soul, my life here into consideration. And so, if this is new for you, I highly suggest taking some time to just stop for a moment and recognize all the areas where maybe you're not shining a light in the way that you should be on yourself. And what's interesting about these energetic concepts is that these are things that I have learned to embody and integrate with the relationship that I have with my current partner. Me and my current partner have very secure attachment styles in regards to how we move through our relationship, but I was not always like that. I had a habit of choosing partners that were avoidant and didn't really take other people into consideration because they were so identified with the trauma that they had been through, where they liked the idea of having a good life and a healthy partner, but they weren't willing to put in the work within themselves to actually build that dynamic. And so, as I have been with this person, they have been helping me go even deeper within myself in a way of, oh, wow, it is okay to put the attention on myself. It is okay to shine the light in a way of saying, I like everything about my body and my quirks and my personality. Like, there's nothing that I would change about that. But that is not how I used to always operate. And so, one of the things that I've had to do to even get to this point of seeing the goodness and the light within myself is developing my capacity to hold space for me. Because when we are used to hiding away, our heart is literally just like closed up. It is so contracted energetically that we have to develop our capacity to open it up. And this means that we have to become vulnerable. And in the very beginning, for me, this was very painful. And so, this isn't about just like rushing into this process. This is about the stepping stones of goodness for myself in the way that I have a relationship with myself. And as I redevelop that relationship with myself, I can find that self esteem is not so hard to access, that I have full access to my creative energy simply because I just am willing to connect with myself in that way. And I find that a lot of people struggle with their creative energy simply because they're not willing to look at themselves and hold space for themselves, to allow themselves to be the spotlight. And so when you have high self esteem, you're saying, yeah, I am totally worthy of having the light on me because I know that I matter in this world. And I know that I've repeated that a couple of times, but I really want to hone in on that point of that you matter. And so if you're going to come on here and build big things like a YouTube channel, for instance, or a business, and we want other people to take what we have to say into consideration because we know that we offer a service that is going to change their life, then we need to take into consideration that what we have to offer to the world matters, therefore, we matter. And so this needs to be a belief that we are shifting in a way of we are seeing the good in ourselves. We are allowing ourselves to be seen and allow our light to shine. Anyway, that's all that I have for this video. And so if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and I will see you in the next video.